question a lot. I want to try out the new adult genre. Where should I start? So I thought I'd do a video with some recommendations to hopefully give you some good starting places. First of all, what is new adult? It's kind of the stepping stone between young adult and adult romance novels. It typically has more explicit adult-level content than young adult books, though with some of the YA books these days, that's not always true. The protagonists are typically somewhere between 18 and about 25 years of age. Currently, most new adult books are in the contemporary genre, though there are a few starting to pop up that are playing around with new adult paranormal, and I expect the genres to open up from there. But currently it's mostly contemporary. A majority of the new adult right now follows a fairly similar formula. It's usually about the main character having a seriously messed up past and her healing from it. Probably the best example of this is Wait For You by Jennifer L. Armentrout. If you haven't read any new adult, this is definitely where I suggest you start. Our protagonist Avery goes to college trying to leave her past behind. There she meets witty, charming Cam, but will her past come back to haunt her? This is by far my favorite Jaylyn and a really good read. The second book in the series is also really good. I was not a big fan of the third book, but I have high hopes for book 4, which comes out shortly. Another great new adult series is the On Dublin Street series. This is new adult set in Scotland. In the first book, Jocelyn leaves her tragic past behind and moves to Scotland. Braden is her new roommate's brother. The first one is pretty good, but my favorite has to be the second book, Down London Road, which is about Johanna, her brother, and her bedridden mother. She's busy taking care of everyone else, and then she meets Cam, her new coworker. I've read through book 5 so far. The only one I didn't really like was book 4. Otherwise, they were all excellent. Number 6 comes out in June, I believe. Trade Me by Courtenay Milan. This is now one of my new favorite new adult books. It's kind of a slight twist on the typical new adult formula, because the guy also has some tragic issues he's struggling with. And one of them is one we don't see addressed from the male perspective very often, so that is really refreshing to see. This book does go slightly hog wild and tries to throw in every plot point ever featured in any new adult book, ever. Just have a good chuckle and go with it, because otherwise it's pretty good. Okay, let's talk about the Marked Men series. This is a hugely popular new adult series. The hook here is that it centers around the people who work at this tattoo parlor, but let's be honest, they're all faux bad guys who really have hearts of gold. I'm hit or miss on this series. The first book is good. My favorite is Rome, which is the third book, but I really hated the fourth book, Nash. But for all my mixed feelings on this series, I'm still fully caught up and ready to read the sixth book in April, so that tells you something. Perhaps my second favorite new adult series is the Rosemary Beach series by Abbie Glines. Now this falls more into full-blown soap opera territory, let's all be warned. This series has emotional melodrama everywhere and is truly, truly ridiculous. But I still love to read them. The first 2 books, Fallen Too Far and Never Too Far, are by far the best. This is Rush and Blair's story, and later Abbie Glines rewrote the first book from Rush's perspective called Rush Too Far, and it's actually really good and adds new dimensions to the original story, so kind of worth a read. The rest of this series goes from pleasant to downright ridiculous, but once you read the first books, you get hooked on the Abbie Glines soap opera, and you'll read them anyway. Okay, those are some good stepping stones into the new adult world. For those of you who've read a lot of this genre, what am I missing? What would you recommend a newbie pick up?